Well, greetings, one and all. Welcome to another excursion through life in America with the Bellicose Nation. Now, we have a development on a news story that broke earlier this week when it was reported that a woman from Louisiana, a 20-year-old Shamika Moffett, was attacked in a park, doused with a flammable liquid, and lit ablaze by three persons claiming to be with the KKK. Not only did this lady suffer burns, but the letters KKK, along with a racial slur beneath it, was marked on her car in white. Now, when I first became aware of this story, and from the limited info given, I noted a few things which raised my suspicion slightly. Number one, no real description of the men were given in the report. Usually they put out a description and try to locate who these three people were. And at least the reports I read, there was no specific description given. Number two, she claims she put the flames out with a water source located at the park, a faucet or something. Now, very few places in a park have such a handy water source. And who would have a presence of mind to leave a trail and go in search of one when your flesh is on fire? Number three, despite all the notoriety, today it's very rare to hear of such a random attack by people in the KKK. These people are usually doing marches and these types of things. You just don't hear about lynchings and all this stuff. It's rare, it happens, but it's very rare. Number four, this lady did not seem to fit my profile for a hate hoaxer. And who would? I'll tell you who would. College students, activists, people who might have a chip on their shoulder, or people who through the benefit of higher education have come to worship victimhood. And because there is not enough evidence to be a bona fide victim, they set out to make themselves one. And in the end, they like to blame another group who should be oppressing them. And let's be honest, it's almost always a white male. And this lady, from what I gather, is a working mother. Doesn't really fit the profile. But on the other hand, it seems fairly unlikely a person would burn themselves in such a way to pull off a hoax. So I thought perhaps there was some credibility to this. Now, earlier, I did a video on a lesbian who in fact did go to such extremes to pull off a hate hoax. And she was caught, but she even went to the extent of cutting herself up in a number of ways with a razor knife, and she did some other things. It was another crazy story. Well, as it turns out, the news has just broke that this one was in fact a hoax. The burns were self-inflicted. Her prints were found on a Bic lighter and a container of lighter fluid, and I guess she copped to it. Now her family reports that she showed no signs of mental irregularities, or no one could figure out where this even came from. What's interesting is this week I noticed a number of community sites that I use where this story was posted over and over by those folks who are known to be, I'll be honest with you, white libs. These folks all share one trait, and that is they love these stories because it confirms what they so deeply believe, and that is there are white racists everywhere just waiting to attack. And good Lord, this story had two bonuses. Number one, the victim was black. And number two, it happened in the South. Damn, do these folks hate the South. I'm telling you, man. For these folks, this story couldn't have been any better. Okay. Perhaps had it been in Mississippi, that would have been one measure up. But to white libs, the South is the epicenter of hell on earth and all that is evil. In their minds, whites are secretly plotting to reinstitute Jim Crow and then slavery. And blacks are some helpless class crushed under the boot of white power. It's like these folks have never even been to the South, except through the movie Mississippi Burning. No one has told them that most major cities in the South are run by African Americans. The mayors, the chief of police, the school boards, the city councils. But we'll let the vision of Mississippi burning linger on in their minds. I guess that way they can go to their computer and play the role of modern-day online freedom rider with all their comments and photoshopped images. And some of them, to be honest, are pretty funny. Well, back to Shamika. Now, I don't know whether to feel sorry for this lady and hope she gets some help, or if I should be pissed off that she is part of what's wrong with America. That part that feeds the flame of victim and oppressor. The part of this movement which eternally dredges up the past, a past few of us have even lived through. And in some cases, these people are so desperate when the reality that most people just get along doesn't fit their agenda, they fabricate reality. That's about all I got for this video, but I'm going to let Morgan Freeman wrap up the end of this video because I think he makes an excellent point. So take it away, Morgan.
I'm Jewish.
Okay. Which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh. Why not?
No.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it.